which caused a lot of landslides and liquefaction in Pangasinan and Tarlac, and even some parts of Pampanga. Intensity age shaking is when you cannot stand anymore. Sino po ang nakaramdam ng lindol na yun? Pakitaas ang kamay. Gusto niyo po bang maranasan pa uli yun? Siyempre hindi na. But you cannot prevent nature from waking us up in the middle of the night or even during the day. No, it can occur. So we need to imagine the consequence if there is another major earthquake somewhere in Luzon. For example, in 1968, 270 people died. Bridges were affected in Casiguran, Aurora. The Ruki Tower in Manila collapsed, killing 268 people. And 2 deaths occurred in Aurora, sub-province then, and also in Pampanga. But the big difference between then and now would be the many concrete buildings and a large number of population. How about if this event would occur again? Tsunamis were also triggered by some of these earthquakes, and there were 4 major earthquakes that triggered tsunamis in Region 3. 2 in the western coastline or western seaboard, and 2 in the eastern seaboard, offshore of Aurora. In the western seaboard, an earthquake occurred in 1863, which entered Manila Bay and caused strong waves to strike ships and overcome its deck. And we assume at least a meter wave affected the area. In 1999, the Hermana Mayor earthquake, which caused massive blackout in Metro Manila, a tsunami occurred offshore of Zambales and Pangasinan. For example, in Palawig, Zambales, the height of the tsunami was 1.5 meters and inundated 10 meters of the coastline. In the eastern seaboard, the 1968 earthquake caused a tsunami as high as 3 meters in Casiguran Bay, killing 1 person. And in 1970, at the southern side of Aurora, a 3-meter wave also occurred. So both the western and eastern coastlines of Region 3 can be affected by local tsunamis. The problem is, local tsunamis can occur within 5 to 30 minutes after the earthquake. So how can we prepare for these hazards? And how can we prevent or minimize the effects of these hazards? To give you an idea of what we need to do at the local level, let me now introduce to you the concept of disaster imagination, the box in the center. Disaster imagination consists of identifying the hazard that will affect your community, assessing the hazard in terms of the magnitude or the scale of the event and the areas to be affected, and more importantly, the casualty, the social, physical, and economic impacts, so that we can imagine how much resources or how many of our population will be affected by the earthquake.
Kasi maraming reason. Pwede kasi mag-erode lang laterally yung flow, either lahar or flood. So therefore, the dike should be monitored constantly, every after rains or even during rains, especially heavy ones. What we have done is way back in 2008, we shared with Public Works and Highways the modeling results that we have conducted to look at the possibility of large magnitude lahar events that can possibly overtop the eastern side of the mega dike. And as you know, there is a low point along the road from Angeles at the middle part, where if the volume of combined water and debris, or the lahar, is 10 million cubic meters, and if the lahar would start depositing at that part, near that road, then it can possibly overtop. The reason why it can overtop is that currently the Pasig-Potrero channel is sloping towards the eastern side. So all the active flows are towards that.
Expectations representative for the disaster risk reduction. Ms. Margareta Wallstrom was the DOST or her, about the efforts of government in disaster mitigation. So again, with Yolanda, we we again took center stage in the country. And we have been getting a lot of work going on now with a lot of agencies, international agencies. So I'm not just too sure about what type or what particular program that we have with the World Wildlife Fund, but we do have ongoing and projects with the likes of Habitat with likes of Habitat and the United Nations UNISDR. Now, with regard to your, I think that the keyword there is more of a community resilience. You cannot actually say climate change proofs.
One-time affair. Actually, itong nangyayari ngayon ay dahilan na basically doon sa 2012 Typhoon Udoy, kung saan nag-direct ang ating Pangulo na magkaroon ng mga summit. At 2013, kung maalala niyo po, nagkaroon tayo ng national summit sa Maynila, pero limitado. Inibitahan lang natin na LGU yung 28 provinces along the 18 major river basins at saka lahat ng governors. And in the second part of 2013, nagkaroon po tayo ng mga regional DRRM summit. For March and April, nakaschedule na po ang provincial DRRM summits namin. At may idea rin po ang DOST at saka DILG, project nila to. At pinauna natin po sila dahil yung detalyado yung presentation nila yung Science for Safer Communities, which is also going to be presented in general doon sa provincial summit. Pero ito yung 2 days. Doon sa provincial summit natin, whole morning lang ito. Pero dito 2 days. So nandito yung plan. But rest assured, doon sa nagtanong na we will not stop. Ang focus namin sa council ngayon ay we will capacitate the local communities, whether they like it or not. Our focus for this year, 2013, is to capacitate the local government units so that they will be able to be resilient to disasters.
Kahit tayo po satisfied na tayo sa ating audience, pero alam ko kung ang hinahanap ninyo, mas marami pa sana yung mga mayors natin na nandito. Ang ating po mga mayors ngayon, ina-expect po natin dadami silang ngayong hapon at hanggang bukas, 2 araw naman po ito, sir. Plus, ipinadala po nila ang kanilang mga local disaster risk reduction management officers. At again, ito po itututukan natin kasi kung ano pong ginawa natin ngayong araw hanggang bukas, gagawin po natin sa 7 lalawigan po natin dito sa Central Luzon. At sa kanila na po tayong provincial on-site po yan. Kaya inaasahan po namin na kayo po uli ay makikita namin sa mga forum na gawin po natin sa kanya-kanya mga probinsya.
Thank you.